Okay, so today's topic is file server. So as the name itself tells you, it is a file plus server. Okay, then it is called as file server. So file server is nothing but it is a server where we can keep our files and folders. Okay, means in this server you will only have the files and folders. Okay, and now you have a question: why do we need a file server? Why can't you store your files and folders inside our laptop or a desktop? Correct, na? See, if we keep your files and folders inside your laptop, there is a huge administration effort will be there, and there are chances of losing the data whenever the user leave the organization, okay, or he will go out of the organization. Whereas the file servers are not like that. The file servers are the centralized repository. Okay, means there is a file server in your office. So there is a file server in your office. Okay, so this file server has got some certain folders created inside. Okay, say for example, this is your server name, server 01. Okay, and it has got a root folder in the D drive. Okay, a folder called data. So inside this data folder, there are multiple other folders as well. Maybe if I talk about HR department, all the HR department files and folders will be inside it. If I talk about admin department, only the admin files and folders will be inside that folder. If I talk about IT department, okay, all your IT related SOPs, your run books, all your architectural diagrams, okay, solution blueprints, everything will be there in the IT department. Imagine if you are an engineer, you are an IT engineer, okay, who's sitting here, okay, and you have got your own computer, correct? Now, each and every engineer will have his their own laptop or desktop will be given in the office. If you are not storing the data here, okay, in this computer, I mean, if you are not storing the data here in the server computer, if you are storing it in the local PC, so there are chances when this user leave the organization or left the organization, so all this data, whatever is there, right? It will be you will lose this data. So next, some other engineer, new engineer comes, okay, and if he don't have the proper information, proper documentation, okay, he will lose all the run books, all the SOPs, all the blueprint, solution diagrams, architectural diagrams, everything will miss it. So we as a infrastructure engineers, for us, these are all the very, very crucial information. So to avoid this kind of situation, what we will do, instead of storing these files and folders in the local machine, we have arranged a server called file server. Inside that, there are certain folders. In our case, it is IT folder. So what we will do, we will keep all the data inside this. So inside this, we will keep it, okay? And what we will do, we will define the access here. So we will define the access, what level of access the engineer should have for these files and folders. So what we will do, we will create some certain groups, okay? We will create some certain groups like IT administrator or admins. So what we will do, we will add all the IT users in this group, and we will go to this folder and we will define this, whoever is part of this IT admins group, they should have modify access to this folder. So modify means what? Modify means you can create, you can edit, you can delete. So all the three information is possible with this access, with modify access. Correct, na? And since I have defined only IT admin should have the modify access, apart from the IT department, if any other department users comes and try to access this folder, it will throw an error stating that access denied. Access denied. Okay, that means you will not have access to any other folders which is out of your scope. Only your scoped files and folders will be having access, otherwise you will not have access to another department. But this IT admin means he is the super, I mean he is the person who takes care of other department requirement as well, correct now. He is the person who install the operating system, he is the person who facilitate the application access, he is the person who facilitates the file server access, blah blah blah. So then we normally should give access to this IT admins folder at the top level here, the data level. So only then what he will do, whenever a new user joins to the HR department, he can grant access to the HR OU. Or any user now he some but some new user joined to the admin department, okay, and it is your responsibility being an IT administrator for the new user who joins the admin department should have access to this admin folder. So what you will do, you log into the domain controller, you will search the group called admin users, and you will add this newly joined user to this group, and this group is already added to this one, so he will get access, the required access. What will be the required access maybe the modify access. So now let us understand how many types of permissions we have, okay, and what is the least permissions, what is the highest permissions, and uh, which permissions will always win. Okay, any idea how many types of permissions we have? Okay, so there are two types of permissions. Okay, there are two types of permissions. Okay, the one is shared permission, share permission. Another one is NTFS permission. So you might have heard, okay, shared folder, NTFS folder, like that people talks in the office. So what do you mean by share permission? So now let us understand about the share permission. So share permission is nothing but you are sharing a file and folder which to make it visible over the network. Say for example, you have a folder called admin. So what we have to do, we have to right click on this, okay, then go to share option, then go to select everyone, write or read permission you have to give. Only then this file is visible for the entire users when they access over the network. Like say for example, you have a file server, okay, like this. You will try to do DC001, and if you just hit enter, if the file is shared, only then it will be visible in the network. Otherwise, it won't be visible in the network. Okay, I will show you in 2-3 minutes. Another one is NTFS permission. Okay, NTFS permission means it is new technology file system. Okay, NTFS is nothing but it is an abbreviation. NTFS, it is new technology file system. Okay, so this is the important permission. Okay, so what happens, say for example, say the shared permission, you have modify access. Okay, I told you know there are two permissions. Let us write the one picture here. Say for example, you have a folder here, and that folder name is data, and there are two types of permission. This side you have shared permission, and this side you have NTFS permission. So the share permission tells you should have full control, and the NTFS permission has only read only permission. So there is a conflict, correct na? So share permission it says full control, but the NTFS permission says read only. Any idea which will win? Any idea which will win? Now the read only will win because the read only will be the least access. Okay. Now one more thing. In the shared permission, read only is there. And in the NTFS permission, you have full control. Okay. So which one will now, based on the above scenario? This time also only the NTFS permission will only win. Okay, means always NTFS permission overrides the shared permission. So sometimes the shared permission will have full control. The NTFS has got only read only. That time also NTFS will only win. So another scenario, the share permission is read only is there, but the NTFS full permission has got full permission. So that time only the NTFS will win. Means the takeaway of this one is NTFS permissions has got higher priority, more priority. Okay, so always NTFS will win. That's all. Okay, now now see the basically the share permission is just to make sure the folder is visible. Oh, if there is no NTFS permission, that time you can control using the share permission. You can make it visible, you can make it no read only, you can make it full control everything. But in case of NTFS is there, okay. Normally in the file server and all, we normally use the NTFS only. NTFS is nothing but new technology file system. So NTFS will always overrides the shared permissions. I think now you got an idea. Now you got an idea. What is that? You understand what is a file server? File server is nothing but it is a server where we can keep our files and folders. Then the question comes, why do we need the files and file server? Why can't we store the files in our local machine? If you store your data in the local machine and if you leave the organization, the data will go along with you. We don't want to have we don't want that to happen. What we have to do, we have to create a server 01 or a file server. It is a centralized repository. You have the multiple folders created in it, and each and every department has got different folders and the respective access. So HR user cannot look at the admin data, admin user cannot look at the HR data. But the IT is the superpower. So IT admins, you as an IT engineer, you can have the access to all the files and folders because you are the one who gives access, remove access, and restrict the access. Okay. Now that is why we need this file server to keep the data in the centralized store and to grant access to some other user when they newly join and to remove the access when the user leave the organization, and the data is secured and safe in the central store. That is why this file server is important. Okay, now there are two types of permissions I was talking about. One is share permission, another one is NTFS permission. The share permission means it is just to make sure the folder is visible over the network. When you go to the run double slash, if you put the computer name or the server name, the file is visible over the network. If you see yesterday, okay, I have given the printer name as Bangalore floor 1 printer, correct, or admin department printer, and in the share name also I have put the same name. Then when I go to the local PC and when I search DC01, there I found the printer visible, correct na? Why, how it is possible? Because I have shared the printer over the network. If you are not sharing the printer, it won't be visible there. I'll show you that in the practical session. Okay. So share permission, you understood, it's only to make sure the folder is visible over the network. And then the second one is NTFS permission. NTFS permission is nothing but it's a new technology file system permission. So NTFS will always override the permission of the shared. Okay. So here I have a folder called data. So data has got two types of permissions. The first one is shared full control and the second one is NTFS read only. Here, even though you have full control, the data folder you have full control, but the NTFS is talking about to give only the read only. So when you try to open the folder, you can only open and see, you cannot be able to edit it because you only got the read only permission because NTFS has got higher precedence and priority. So read only you have shared, okay? You have shared permission read only, but the NTFS has got full control. That time, even though you have shared permission, just read only, but the NTFS is having full control. So NTFS will override and it will give you the full control access to the files and folders. Okay, that is all. Now let us understand what level of access we have in the file server. Okay, so there are multiple types of permissions are there. Any idea? Can somebody talk about some permissions? What are permissions we have? Okay, so we have multiple level of permission. Okay, if you want the peoples to get only the read access, you have read only permissions. So the next level of permission is modify. The third one is full control, and the fourth one is special permissions. So in this special permission, again multiple types are there: list only, okay, and view only. So such permissions are there. They are very, very custom permissions. I will show you there. So if a person has got read-only permissions as a NTFS permission, he will only have the read-only permissions. Nothing else is possible. He can just open the file, open the folder. He can just see what is there in it. If he has got modify access, he can open the file. Okay, he can edit the file. Okay, and he can delete the file also. But if it is full control, what he can do? He can do read, write, create, modify everything, and he can also do the ownership change. Say for example, I have created a folder here, the data folder. So when I look at that, if you go to the properties and it says Manju is the owner of the data folder. So you have, as an engineer, has got full control access, and Manju left the organization very long back. Okay, and what you want to do now? You want to make the ownership changed. What you can go to the properties of it, you go to the transfer ownership option, and you can select the new engineer or who's the lead of your organization. For them you can transfer the ownership. That is possible only when you have the full control access, otherwise it is not possible. Okay, and the special permissions, sometimes, say for example, there is a application data logs folder will be there. So you wanted to see how many what are logs are there. You cannot open and see what exactly it is there inside the file, but you can only see, you can open the folder and you can see how many number of files you have, how many text files are there, how many no, jpegs are there, how many video files are there, how many log files are there. You can only see the list. How many, what is the list? 100 or 100 files are there, 200 files are there. Only that list you can be able to see only when you have the special permissions like list and view only, such kind of permissions. Okay, this is all about the file server. Any question? Guys, any question? So if no question, what I will do, I will quickly go to the server. Let me log into the server now. Okay, I have already logged into the server. Okay, so that the server is DC01. So let me log in one more time since it is logged. Okay, so if you look at here, I already have this file and storage service installed. Whenever I install the Active Directory, by default it get installed. If there is no Active Directory is there, then you have to go to add roles and features. Okay, and you have to install the services. Okay, here we have to go. You have to go here. Okay, here file is there. See, file service is there, and you have to select this file and storage services. Say next, 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 and install. That's all. Okay, since the Active Directory is there, it will install by default when I install the Active Directory, and I'm leveraging the DC01 only for my the current lab. So what I wanted to do here, I wanted to go to tools and I'll open the Active Directory console. Okay, and I want to make sure if I have the respective department and the respective users. See, I have the admin department, Ashok is there. What I will do, let me create a new user called admin. Okay, admin user, admin, admin. google.com, just to make sure the naming convention is easy for remembering. Okay, I'm creating a new user now called admin. Okay, I don't want to do anything. I just want some user to think. Now let me go to the HR department and I'll create a new user called hr. Okay, I will say next. PASSWRD at the rate 123. PASSWRD at the rate 123. I don't want to change anything. Let me keep the same thing. Similarly, I'll go to the IT, and what I will do, I will create a new user called IT. Next, PASSWRD thread 123. Similarly, the same password I'm going to enter, and I have created the new user now. I think it doesn't match. PASSWRD at the rate 123. PASSWRD at the rate 123 is my password. I don't want to select any option. I will say next and I'll say it's finish. Now I have all the users created. Okay. So what I will do, I will quickly go to the D drive of my server. Okay. So what I'll just make it full screen so that it is good to see. Okay. And let me open the file manager. I'll go to this PC and I'll go to E drive. See, inside the E drive, I already have a data folder. Okay. And what I will do, I will just try to create folder structure. So I said admin. Okay. I said HR. I said IT. This is the same folder structure I have explained in the theory. Okay. So now I told you, only admin department should have access to the admin folder. Only HR department should have access to the HR folder, and IT should have access to the IT along with other two folders as well. So what you have to do when you right click on this admin folder, okay, you have to go to properties. Once you go to properties, you have two types of permissions here. One is sharing permission. The second tab is sharing permission, and if you see, admin is shared. Okay, admin is shared now because the root folder itself is shared. Let me do one thing. Let me stop sharing this one. Okay, 1 minute. Here it is. Stop sharing. Okay, 1 minute. Fine. Let me search this one. DC01. Yeah, see DC01 is there, but that folder is not visible here. Okay, but inside the data is there, that is why it is visible. That's fine. Okay, otherwise what you can do, you if you just right click on this admin folder and share with is there, share with see, stop sharing is there here, so this is not shared now. Okay, so let me see now, go to properties, and if you go to sharing, okay, now let me do the admin, and I'll select everyone I'll select, I will add, and I will do one thing, I'll give read and write permission, and I will share it now. Okay, now let me go to the run and I'll say, so since the data is folded, 1 second, let me stop the data folder itself so that you will understand better. I wanted to see what will change, what will get changed, okay, when you are not shared. Okay, let me now go to DC01. It should not happen. 1 minute. Okay, well, I'll make sure one more. I'll just create one more folder just to save the timing. Okay, see here, there is a new folder, correct? Huh? If I go to the DC01, see, you don't see the shared folder here. See, when the data also went off now. See, after stopping the data folder, see, I don't see the data folder here. So how that is important, the share permission you see here. Let me right click on the data folder, go to the properties, go to the properties and go to the share option. See, it is now telling not shared. Okay, data not shared. Now what I will do, let me share it. I'll select everyone. Okay, and I will add, I can give read and write access, and I will share it. Okay, now don't change the settings. Done. Close. Now, if I go to run and if I search TC01, see now the data folder is visible here. This is the use of the shared permission. Means when you look at the network folder, right, network path, so that time the respective folder will be visible in the network. Otherwise, how will you know? There are thousand for files and folder, lakhs of files and folder will be there. How will you know which is the shared the root folder? Correct na? Then if you double click on the data folder, whatever you have, everything is, see, admin is there, okay, and HR is there, and IT is there. Now why inside the data folder I want the permission? Because like I have access, no, I went to inside the data. After that I even I'm able to open the admin folder as well, and I'm able to open the HR folder as well, and I am even opening the IT department folder as well. And you see here, even I can delete the HR files. Okay, see, I can even delete the admin files. See, I can delete it, and see, I can even delete the IT files. Okay, see, this is what happening if you don't have the proper access. So we wanted to know limit the access, okay, respective to the department only. Okay, so that is why this is there. Now let me go to inside the admin folder. I'll go to admin properties, and now you understood about the sharing. So sharing is, that's all. Nothing to do with the sharing. Now there is another option called security. The security permissions only the NTFS permissions. The NTFS permissions we also call it as security permissions. The security permissions mean that is nothing but NTFS permissions. And if you see here, everyone has got full control here. Everyone has got full control. So what I wanted to do, before I remove this everyone full control, I wanted to add a group. What is a group? That group, let me add at the data level only. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, fine. I'll go to the admin department. I'll do, I'll go to properties, and I will add the, I will create a new group called IT administrators. Okay, group called IT-admin. I told you, IT admin should have access to all the files and folders. Okay, so let me add a user here. I'll go to members. I'll add IT as a user. See, I'm adding IT, yes, and I will also add Manju. Okay, so as a user, so Manju I'm gonna add, and even I'm adding Manju one also. See, these are all three users are there in the IT department. So what I will do, I will make sure the IT administrator is added here. IT admins are added. And what level of access they want to add? The IT administrator should have access. They should have full control access. See, I can apply and I can tell okay. But now let me remove everyone. I don't want this everyone to be there, because everyone is there means that is problem. Correct? Huh? So let me remove the everyone. Anyway, IT administrator is there. That's fine. Fine. Now, what I will do, let me go to this PC01 and log in as any of the IT users and try to access that admin folders. Okay, it says you won't have access to access the files and folder. Okay, so what I will do, I will just go to Google and let me log in as admin. Password @123. So this is a new user just created, right? Normally it will take less than a minute of time to create the new profile. Okay, it is it is happening. Yeah, see now it is actually logged in. Okay, so once it logs in, right, now what I will do, I have logged in as an admin users, correct now. See, I've already logged in as an administrator. So admin users, okay. Let me try to access the DC01. Okay. When I try to access the DC01, you can see the folder called data. I'm opening data because you can open the data folder, correct? Because data folder has got everyone. And if you see here, you are not able to see the folder called admin, correct, right? Admin folder is not visible here because you don't have access to look at the admin folder. That is why you don't see the admin folder only, correct na? So now what I will do, I will go to DC01, okay, and I'll go to data folder, okay. So I will go to data folder, and inside the admin folder I will add a new group. Okay, let me create a group here in the admin department. What I will do, I will create a new group. This is admin file server modify access. Okay, admin file server modify access. So now what I will do, I will go to members and I will add admin here. Yes, and I'll also add Ashok. Okay, so check names. Okay, apply. Okay, now see, this is the very important. If you want to give modify access, it should be modify. If you want to give read only access, the group name should be read only, like this. I'll tell you admin hyphen fs hyphen ro. This means this admin will have access to this file server, that is read only for permission, like this. Some proper naming convention should be there. Okay, so you can add the users whatever you wanted. Okay, so I will show you. First let me add the modify only. I'll add modify. Okay, modify is already added. Okay, so what I will do, I'll go to the folder here, admin folder, security. I will go to advanced and then add that admin. Okay, so let me check names, and this is the one modify permission. So I will say okay, fine. And see, as soon as I add it, it is taking the read only permission, sorry, modify permissions. Okay, I have to select the modify permissions. Okay, so now apply and okay. Now let me go to the PC01 here and let me refresh it. Okay, I'll do one thing, I'll log off and log in because that will take some time to negotiate. Okay, so and get the latest information. So PC01, send control alt delete, PASSWORD, select 123. Okay, now if you look at the folder, you will have the admin folder visible. So there is an option called access based enumeration. Okay, access based enumeration means if you have access only, then the folder is visible. If you don't have access, you cannot see the folder. That is why this admin folder is not visible there. Okay, so now since you have the admin folder, okay, DC01, you will be able to see the folder inside the data. See, now you are able to see the admin folder because I have given the access to the admin folder. See, you can open the admin folder, you can create a new file, you can create a new folder also. See, right click on new, you create a folder, and folder name is my folder, say for example, and inside that you can create a file, text file, my test file. Okay, and inside that, this is my file. Okay, you created a folder, inside that you created a file, inside that you have some information, this is my file, correct na? That is possible because you have modify access. Now what I will do, I wanted to show you the conflicting thing. Okay, to the same files and folder, okay, in the admin department. Okay, what I will do, I will add now the read only permission, this one. Let me go to the members, I'll add Ashok and I will not. Admin only I will add. Okay, admin only, just to make sure how that conflict works. I will add admin only. Okay, fine. And Ashok I will not add it. Ashok is still be part of modify access only, but admin is part of read only. Okay. Now what I will do, I will go to PC01 and I log off. Okay, and I will log in with admin again, just to see the permission reflected or not. Okay, now the permissions are restricted. Okay, because he will only have access with the read only permission. Now pa, the username password at the 123 is the password. Let me log in. So once you log in, if you try to access the folder, like by going to run /dc01, because dc01 is your file server, correct na, is also your file server, and you see the folder now admin. Okay, so you just type dc01, hit enter, and you see the file data, and you see the admin folder, and you can even see the my folder, my test file. And let me try to add, this is my second line. Okay, if you try to save it now, this should not happen. One second, what is the issue? Let me check. Can you see here, we have not added that read only group to these files and folder, correct huh? Let me go and check in the admin here. Admin, go to properties, go to security, and if you see, you don't see that read only file. I have added the user there to the group, but that group is not added to the folder, correct na? So I'll go to edit, I'll go here and I'll add admin fsro. This one I'm gonna add, and then this group now admin is part of it. Okay, correct na? So what I will do now, let me go here to the pc01. Okay, let me log off. Log off should happen, otherwise the token will be there. Okay, and that is valid for 10 hours. It will take some time to pull the latest information. When you log off, the ticket will be expired. Okay, and invalid. Once the next authentication goes, it will pull the latest information. Okay, so password is my password, password at that 123. Okay, now if you open the file and folder, okay, and inside that the new folder, my folder, okay, if you open that, you will be able to see the data. And when you make any changes and save it, it should not, it should throw an error. Okay, you don't have enough permissions, something like that. Okay, so let us wait that to happen now. See, we have logged in now. Okay, so let me go to the dc01 to access the files. I'm trying to access it now. Yes, I have the data folder here. I have the admin folder visible. I can even see my folder data inside that my test file. Now let me try to delete this one. And if I save it, save. Why it should not happen? Okay, I think some mistake we are doing. 1 second, let me double check. Now if I try to save this file and folder, it won't happen. Okay, so save file, save. Say it says you do not have permission to this one. So after restarting, it is working fine. So it will take some time to reflect. Okay, this is the lab environment. No, that is why. Okay, so that is how you can restrict the files and folders. But as an IT admin, you directly have access to the data folder here. Okay, here. So let me go manually. Data DC01. Okay, colon D dollar. If you enter, so DC01 slash e dollar. Okay, 1 second. Double slash dc01. Okay, double click on this, right click, go to properties, go to security, and it has got everyone, right? So what we have to do, you have to add that IT administrator, add IT-admins. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to give full control for IT administrator. Apply. Now everything, wherever you see, even if you see the IT folder, you will have the IT administrator. See here, if you see security, I see IT admin has got full control. If you go to HROU, properties, go to security, and you see this folder is there. See IT admin, correct? And it is full control is there. So that is how you, if you add at the top level, that will get inherit. See, if you look at the folder here, if you look at the, if you go to the properties, if you go to, okay, if I go here, advanced, okay, if you go here, see it says, I mean, enable inheritance means by default what happens, whatever characteristics are there in the parent folder, that will get inherited to the child folders. That is called inheritance. Okay, genetics inheritance, you might have heard the same concept works in the file server as well. That is why at the root level, if you have modify or full control, the same permissions will go up to the last file and folder of the folder and file of the drive or the folder. So that is applicable. So any questions, guys? This is all about file servers. If no questions, I think we are good. Let me stop the recording.